What's up, everybody? Joe White here. Good to talk to you today. I just wanted to give a little status update. The last time I did a video, I was talking with AC about the AEW Revolution fiasco or pay-per-view, and haven't really said anything or done anything on the channel since then because I thought I was going back out onto the road. And as it turns out, I'm not. Give you a little status update here. I am a diabetic. And, people who have been no diabetics or people who are diabetics know that shit can be very hard to control. The trucking companies or the Department of Transportation, the U.S. Department of Transportation, or DOT, if you will, has a set of strict guidelines. Your blood sugar cannot be over a certain level at the time of your physical. Yes, you have to take a physical in order to be a truck driver. And your A1C, which is a 3-month average of your blood sugar, cannot be above a 9. And, it can't be above a 9 or else they fail you. They fail you on the physical, and you have to wait 90 days before you can try again because of that. Because that average, or that A1C number, is an average of 3 months. You pretty much have to wait 3 months before you can try again. So I went to take a physical. My blood sugar was high, and my A1C was sitting at a 9.5. And the reason for that is because I had COVID for the entire month of January and a little bit of February. And when you're sick, your blood sugar levels raise. And I wasn't able to eat much, but when I stopped when the COVID went away, my body was like, "Fuck, you need to eat, dude. You lost 15 freaking pounds over the course of 2 weeks. You need to eat." So, naturally, my body was wanting to gain that weight back, and so January and February was not good for me. So with that being said, I have basically until June to stay at home and trying to find a little work from home side gig to help try to pay the bills, because I still got to make money, and that means I have a little bit more free time to pay attention to this channel for a change. So you may see some video game playing on the channel. You may see some podcasts from hopefully people like Jeff Edwards and AC on here. But yeah, so I want to talk a little bit about a couple random things. Yes, I know that these things are old, but then again, like I said, I haven't done any videos. So, let's see here. They Justice League, the Jack, he's a Lego maniac. You notice how it got changed from Zack to Jack back in the day? That was weird. Anyway, Zack Snyder got to release his cut of Justice League, and I thought it was pretty good. There's still a couple things I do not like about the film, and The first thing I did not like, and this is really my main thing, was the Flash. I don't like the Flash. I don't like Ezra Miller's portrayal of the character. I don't like the direction that he was given for that character. He reminds me, if you've ever seen, oh God, this right here really makes me want to gag because it's such a horrible fucking movie. If you've ever seen Corky Romano. This is the movie that began and ended promptly Chris Kattan's career. Chris Kattan, he is Saturday Night Live alumni, one half of the Roxbury guys. If you ever seen, the Roxbury guys, go look it up on YouTube. He was very funny on SNL. I believe he played the little ape guy, the guy who thought he was an ape. Who would just eat apples and then spit them everywhere at people. I believe with The Rock, the first time he hosted SNL, he got to portray that guy's brother, cousin or something, and do a little skit with him. And then right after SNL, he decided that he was going to, go try to do the movies and try to do Corky Romano. Corky Romano is about a guy who's a veterinarian, and his family happens to be the mob, members of the mob. Let me see. I'm going to try to see if I can bring up his bio here so I can tell you what else he's done. So he's a veterinarian, and he doesn't fit in. He's like the black sheep of the family. Golly, I'm looking at a recent picture of this guy. Damn, does he look awful. I know, consider the source, right? But he is 50 years old. But anyway, he's... So the mob, the dad of the family, the mob boss, is in trouble. And he needs evidence stolen from the police department. So they decide to put Corky in charge of the police department. He's like this dorky guy, and hilarity ensues, quote unquote, because there's nothing funny about that movie at all. And just if you go watch Corky Romano and then go watch Ezra Miller's portrayal of the Flash, they're one and the same. I mean, it's that same geeky, crappy, yes, I know he's new at the superhero thing, yes, I know he's young, but you don't need to have him act like that. And, I don't know that I would have Ezra Miller as my Flash going forward, as the Flash, as my Barry Allen. And it's because, also there was a rumor going around about a year ago that the whole reason why the Flashpoint movie got delayed, and this is long before COVID, so it's been almost a year and a half ago, is because he did not like the direction of the film was going. He pitched a little bitch fit and wanted to take over writing of the script. So let's see. Yeah, he did Chris Kattan. He's done Monkey Bone. He did Corky Romano. He was an undercover brother. Let's see here. I'm trying to think of what else he'd done that people would... Hotel Transylvania 2. He did Santa's Slay, S-L-A-Y, which the Bill Goldberg, where he plays Santa Claus going around killing people movie. Let's see, he did... He's... Like, the thing this guy did was, like, in 2018. He did Celebrity Family Feud. He was in Dancing with the Stars. And, the Dancing with the Stars is like where celebrities go to die, isn't it? It's like The Masked Singer now. It's like, let's get these guys that nobody's given a shit about for over 10 years and just throw them in a costume or throw them on the dance floor, So it's pretty, Ezra Miller's Flash, still don't like it. You could so tell that they're running, where it looks like he's kind of speed skating, like he's doing if you put a, how can I say this? It looks like he's doing it very, very awkwardly. Version of, speed skating. He's got his arms moving in that speed skating style, and it looks, you could tell that was a Zack Snyder thing. The Zack Snyder version of Justice League is not infallible. It's the same movie still. They just went and gave him $70 million to go make things that were really bad a little bit better. They made the film darker. They got rid of all the damn other shit that was in the theatrical release. And they, there's no hint of that old movie in here, hardly at all. Joss Whedon, there's no trace of him at all in this movie whatsoever, which is good, because I hated the old version. I hated it. But you could so tell that the Flash running, was Zack Snyder's. And I'll tell you how I know this. It's because you only see him from like the neck up when he's running in the Zack Snyder version. So that tells me that Zack Snyder saw... He says he may or may not have... He says he has not seen the Joss Whedon cut. And if he hasn't, then good on you, bub. Because there's nothing to write home about with that. But, you know, there is... You could tell that you could tell that he read Twitter and saw reviews of this. And the reason why I know that is because you could so tell that the Flash running and the way that Flash runs is a Zack Snyder thing. He saw the hate that it got and said, "Oh, when I do my version, now that after the fact, now that I know the feedback, now that people pointed out what was wrong about the other version, I better not put this in my version, even though it's my creation. I now got to see I got to jump into the future, so to speak, and see what didn't work. And now I get my little do-over, and now I won't put that in there, or I will rub it out as much as I can." Because what little bit you do see him running, he's running very, very slowly, and it looks like he's running normally. And the rest of the time, you see him running around that town, and you can't see him. Other than The Flash, I thought the movie was good. Cyborg episode steals the fucking show. Everybody's saying that nobody but Ray Fisher could play Cyborg. Well, obviously you have not seen the Doom Patrol TV show. And that's another thing. If you have not seen, there is good DC live action stuff out there. Go watch Titans. Titans is fucking amazing. Titans, you do have to know some of the mythology behind Titans. I mean, you have to know who Robin is. You have to know who Dick Grayson is. But they do explain it to a certain extent, but it does help if you've read the comics and know the lore. But even if you don't know the lore, go watch Titans. It's right now on HBO Max. Both of the seasons are up there. Go watch it. And Titans leads into Doom Patrol, which I'm in the process of finishing the first season. I can't wait to watch the second season. The only problem I have with Doom Patrol is that I want to know when Brendan Fraser started letting his body go, or did they purposely have him gain weight for this role? Because Brendan Fraser, if you go back to Mummy, the Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, which released in 2008, all the other Mummy movies that he was a part of, look at George of the Jungle, for crying out loud. George of the Jungle is not a good movie by any means of the imagination. But, I mean, it has its moments. It's certainly a lot better than Corky Romano. But if you look at him in there and Encino Man, dude was fucking... especially George of the Jungle. George of the Jungle, dude, was fucking buff. And then you look at him in Doom Patrol. And he plays Cliff Steele. And when they show the flashbacks of Cliff Steele and him in his human form, you're like, dude, what the fuck happened to you? I mean, maybe they're making him wear a fat suit or something, but god damn, this dude fucking gained some weight. He had some sexual allegations in 2018 that the Philip Burke, president of the Hollywood Foreign Press, sexually assaulted him back in 2003. You know, they said his divorce, and his mother launched him into depression combined with health issues and a backlash within the industry over speaking out against Burke, believe caused his career to decline. That may have caused the weight gain. Depression can cause you to gain weight. Hell, when I get depressed, I eat. When I get stressed out, I eat. I ain't gonna lie. But, man. I mean, and there's no going back now. You've already established what human Cliff Steele looks like. Is he good on that show? Yes. Oh, my God, he's so good. The Doom Patrol is probably one of my favorite series of all time. I've gotten to watch that in my downtime. Back when I had COVID, I got to watch a lot of TV. I watched The Umbrella Academy for the first time. And I know these are old shows, but my God, they're so good. There is superhero comic book stuff out there, folks. If you know where to look for it, it's there. Titans is amazing. So I won't give anything away here, but when shit happens in Titans, it's like, whoa, what the F, you know, what the fuck? They definitely, both that and Doom Patrol have very funny, you know, what the fuck moments in them. I highly advise you checking those out. They're on HBO Max right now. I know it's another streaming service ran by Hollywood, blah, 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 but look, give it a chance. Those are probably two of the best things on there besides the Snyder Cut that are on HBO Max right now, and they're actually worth watching, you know, getting that service for. And Titans Season 3 is on the way at the end of the year from what I hear. And they're saying that the third season will take place in Gotham City. And this is not spoilers because the showrunner confirmed this. Features appearance from the Red Hood, Jonathan Crane, and Barbara Gordon. So we're getting freaking Batgirl, potentially Batgirl or Oracle. I hope it's Batgirl. We are getting Scarecrow, which is going to be fucking amazing if they do it right. That's the thing. This show, Doom Patrol and Titans, they're not for children. The first time, it's in the trailer, so I'm not spoiling anything. The first episode, when you see Robin pop up on the first episode of Titans, and they're like, oh, Lord, Batman's got to be around somewhere if he's here. And at the end of the fight, he looks up and goes, fuck Batman. That, you know, that pretty much sets the tale, sets the scene right there. It's violent, it's bloody, there's cursing, there's nudity. It's for adults, and it's done well. I will give one thing away. Bruce Wayne pops up in it. We don't get Batman, but we get a very much older Bruce Wayne, and the guy playing him is brilliant. And at one point, he goes in and he sets the female members of the Titans down and tells them, y'all need to band together. You need to get together and rescue XYZ. And Starfire looks at him and goes, did Bruce Wayne just mansplain to us? And everybody looks at her and goes, yeah, he fucking did. So what? Yeah, he did. He mansplained us. But you know what? He's right. So let's go do what he says. So it has that SJW aspect of it, but it does it right. It does it good. It doesn't water it down with it. It sends a message, but at the same time, it doesn't jam that message down your throat. It does it subtly. And at the same time, it's like, fuck yeah, Bruce Wayne, Batman just mansplained you. Fucking take it, because he's right. Because he's Bruce Wayne. And if there's anybody in the Marvel universe, or the DC universe that can mansplain to any woman, it's Batman. So, come on. The girl who plays Raven is freaking amazing. Let me see here if I can find her. Let me see here. I'm trying to find her. Tegan Croft is her name. She's a very good actress. The guy who plays Dick Grayson can get on my nerves from time to time. But then again, that's the character too at this point in the character's life. The girl who plays Starfire, they got a black woman. She's beautiful. She plays the character good. I have no problem with her. In fact, she's probably one of the highlights of the series as you get more and more into that first season. The kid who plays Jason Todd, when Jason Todd pops up, it is badass. I mean, it's fucking amazing. And then, you know, the rest of the cast pops up, and you got, you know, people who you would... Season 2 is probably my best stuff, especially the villain stuff in Season 2. My God. When a certain person pops up on the screen and you see his suit for the first time and he's a villain in Season 2, it's like, oh, shit's on now, man. So, Season 3 is coming. The production is set to conclude by 2021, June of 2021. It's the first to be released on HBO Max. It was on the DC Universe thing, which I was not going to subscribe to. So I'm glad they took everything over and moved it over to HBO Max. But yeah, man. More DC stuff here. Gotham Knights, the video game, got delayed. If you haven't seen the trailer for Gotham Knights, go look it up. It's kind of like it's a Batman game without Batman in it so far, even though Batman's probably still living in it. It follows the Court of Owls, if you're familiar with them. If not, go look them up. I'm not going to sit here and explain the Court of Owls to you. And you get to play as like Nightwing, who is Dick Grayson, Tim Drake's version of Robin. You get to play as Jason Todd, the Red Hood, Batgirl, which is Barbara Gordon. And, you know, it's kind of like you get to... And they're saying that it's not going to be like Avengers. I was so disappointed by Avengers and how it's one of those online Destiny-like games. I hate it. Can't stand it because you're doing the same shit over and over and over. But, so yeah, they're saying that's not going to be the Destiny type game. Now, the Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League game, that is going to be the DC version of the Avengers game. I don't like that idea. I don't want it, but there is an audience out there for it. The Avengers actually just released a trailer for the Black Panther Wakanda Fight for Wakanda expansion. But yeah, Gotham Knights has been delayed to 2021. Look, when they did that whole thing last year, when at the Fandome, and they, you know, the DC Fandome thing, and they dropped the trailer for it, and then they went completely silent, like nothing on the radar at all about the game. You knew it was going to get delayed. So, Gotham Knights, it's a game I'm looking forward to. It's not set in the Batman Arkham continuity. It's being done by WB Montreal, who did Batman Arkham Origins, which is kind of like the redheaded stepchild of the Arkham games. But let's move on to some wrestling stuff here. NWA Power. I'm guessing they came back last night. Sorry, folks. And I have no urge to I'm not going to pay $4.99 a week to watch them. Or is it a month? Even still, I'm not going to subscribe to this. You know, you were giving it to me on YouTube for free, but you basically just cut your subscriber numbers probably in about, or your views in probably half. Because I'm not going to pay to watch it. I may pay for a pay-per-view down the line, but I'm not going to tune into your weekly TV show when there's already so much shit out there that I could get for free. They're back. I'm glad they're taping again. I'm glad wrestlers are getting work again. But I would have preferred them to stay on YouTube or stay on some other streaming service that would not require yet another subscription. As I get me something to drink there. Sorry, guys. It was announced today, about an hour after before I'm recording this video, that Kane is going into the WWE Hall of Fame this year. They also, and I couldn't, yeah, the WWE Hall of Fame's a sham, but so is the Wrestling Observer shit, okay? The only difference is the Wrestling Observer is voted on by Dave Meltzer subscribers, who are biased as fuck anyway. And, I think me and AC talked about that. AC, by the way, voted best bartender in Connecticut by the Connecticut Gazette Weekly. Rumor is his banner is being made to hang up above the bar to celebrate it. Oh man, but so the Kane, they're I'm happy that they're recognizing him and for all his accomplishments and everything. And the Undertaker, they had the Undertaker on there this morning. He was the one that announced that Kane would be going in, and the one to inform Kane that he would be going in. And Kane got emotional. Kane got choked up over it. Several people have noted that the Vince McMahon segment from 2005 with John Cena, his Survivor Series, that segment where Vince says the N-word, has been edited off Peacock. Also, the WrestleMania 6 match with Piper versus Bad News Brown has been edited off Peacock. That's the one where half of Piper's body was painted black. Ugh. Piper admitted over the years, when he was still living, yeah, it was a bad idea. But to edit these things off completely? What else is going to be edited off? Oh my God, if they start editing crap off here, I don't want to watch it. Good thing I'm getting this for free. Half the Attitude Era would have to be edited off if we're gonna SJW the WWE. All the Benoit stuff has to be wiped out, which means all the shit from 2004 where he was in the main events. Bye. Any mention of Benoit gets eliminated. Bam. I guarantee you that's what's next. Instead of just saying, instead of not including it in the descriptions and making it to where you have to search for it in order for it to pop up, I guarantee you they're going to wipe his shit completely. This is their chance. And maybe this is NBC Universal's doing. But my God, why do we got to edit the shit completely out? Why can't we just put a disclaimer up saying, hey, do like Disney does. This is from a different time. It may contain some offensive material. Viewer discretion advised. So, it's crazy that shit's getting edited off completely. The John Cena thing, okay, just can't we bleep it? That's minor, but to take down an entire match, that's kind of over the line. That's really kind of pushing it. It's not over the line. It's kind of pushing it, Dave Batista is not going into the Hall of Fame this year. He was supposed to be last year. They're doing 2020 and 2021 in the same year. Batista is saying, unfortunately, due to a previous obligations, I'm unable to be a part of the Hall of Fame this year. By my request, they have agreed to induct me at a future ceremony while I'll properly be able to thank the fans and people who made my career possible. It's understandable. He's a movie star now, That's Jax, the Destroyer. They could be shooting Guardians 3 during that time. We don't know what's happening. I guarantee you it's some sort of movie thing. It's Hollywood. It happens. The last thing I want to talk about kind of loops back around to the Justice League, and that's kind of the Justice League Snyder Cut, and that's the whole Geeks and Gamers Zack Snyder thing. Yes, I saved that for last because I put it in the title, and I know it's going to draw some clicks, maybe, hopefully. For those who don't know, the people, Jeremy and the people over at Geeks and Gamers, organized a charity stream for a suicide prevention charity. And Zack Snyder agreed to come on the stream as kind of, I'm guessing, as kind of an incentive to get people to donate. You had him as the people, you know, I'm going to say this, Geeks and Gamers gets a bad rap. They get labeled as alt-right, and they're nothing of the sort. Yes, they bash Star Wars constantly, but guess what? So do I. I can't stand what Rian Johnson did with, you know, The Last Jedi. I can't stand it. I hate that fucking movie. I have not watched that movie at all since I saw it in the theaters. And I refuse to watch anything that Rian Johnson is ever a part of. Knives Out. Everybody said Knives Out was really good. I refuse to watch anything directed by that man ever again. If I see his name anywhere near it, no. You know, and they're kind of like, you know, Geeks and Gamers are kind of like a, you know, for the fans, by the fans. They're a fuck you Hollywood channel. They're not going to coo over the, you know, they're not going to sit there and, you know, they bash Reylos. I bash Reylos. If you look at the end of the you know, the Rise of Skywalker, that's Titanic in space. Go watch it. Play My Heart Will Go On over the dialogue. The ending is Titanic. So, anyway, Zack Snyder apparently gets a call from Warner Brothers telling him that if you do this stream and if you're associated with Geeks and Gamers, then you're not going to get your movie. We just won't release it. So Snyder gets on the stream with the Geeks and Gamers crew. Now, granted, it was not on the main channel of Geeks and Gamers. Uche over there, who's a part of the Geeks and Gamers crew, gets on there. You know, it's on his channel. He says he ran the whole deal. Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers was not even a part of the stream. But Zack Snyder gets on there and goes, yeah, we're not associated with Geeks and Gamers. And, oh, by the way, everything that's going on in Atlanta, there's no room for hate. There's no room for hate. We denounce that. We're sorry for what happened. So it's kind of like, if you go back and watch the stream, it's kind of like he's saying that Geeks and Gamers spreads hate. You know, that's the impression that I got. Uche and everybody at Geeks and Gamers are saying, no, that's not what he was doing. Well, go back and watch it. He links the two together, guys. Because he goes, yeah, we're no longer associated with Geeks and Gamers. We don't spread hate. We're sorry for what happened in Atlanta, blah, blah, blah. He totally virtue signals and throws Geeks and Gamers under the bus as if to say that Geeks and Gamers spreads hate. As if to say that Geeks and Gamers is proud of this dude shooting up spas in Atlanta, which is nothing could be further from the truth. I don't know Jeremy or Uche or anybody from the Geeks and Gamers crew, but I've seen enough of their stuff to know that, you know, they have a Muslim female gamer getting ready to join their team who cannot stand Reylos, who can't stand The Last Jedi or Star Wars and everything. So yeah, they're real, you know, they're real alt-right. They totally condone going in and shooting up Asian ran spas. They totally condemn that or condone that. Yeah. It's bullshit. Why couldn't Zack Snyder say, yeah, you know, we're not associated with this stream here. It's not associated with Geeks and Gamers. And on a separate note, on a totally different note, I'd just like to say that I'm sorry for the victims in Atlanta. There's no room for hate in this country, and we need to come together and stop it. If he would have just used one word or just one phrase on a separate note, on a side note, you know, it's like Bruce Pritchard used to say 2 words, what if, can make a great, 2 words, just what if. On a side note, on a separate wavelength. There in this crap of Zack, I had phone calls with Zack Snyder, and Zack said, Zack's a guy who can't put a sentence together, and he's not a very, very upfront dude, and he can't, he's very eccentric. Dude, you're a Hollywood director. You should know how to talk and act by now. The motherfucker can go on Entertainment Tonight or Access Hollywood or E, any of these other quote-unquote major channels and act right, put sentences together. So I don't buy that for a fucking minute. You're a director who's directed many films. You should know how to talk to the press. You should know how to talk to, he damn sure knows how to go speak to the access media. But he does a stream, one lonely stream, a charity stream. Move the charity part out of the equation. I know that's what Geeks and Gamers are hinging it on. That's why they're not throwing Snyder under the bus. Oh, it's a charity stream. We raise money for charity. That's what we're focusing on, is the charity. You had reached your goal before Snyder even entered the stream. They raised $100,000, I believe. Charity goes out the window at that point, in my opinion. Am I happy they raised that much money? Is it a good charity? Yes. Good on you for doing the charity stream. But don't sit there and use that as a crutch on the fact that you did not sit there. You lost your balls. Here's a channel that does nothing but try to squash the Hollywood elite and squash the access media, and then what do? You turn around and act like access media. You turn around, and then, when Mr. H Reviews calls you guys spineless, Uche invites Mr. H to go on his channel, and then it's a screaming match for the first fucking 30 minutes, because dude, the guy's sitting over in England at 1 o'clock in the morning in a bathrobe in front of his computer and doesn't want to turn on the camera. Big fucking deal, dude. Why they, every time I've ever seen this guy, Uche, he's a former NFL player, used to play for fucking some team. I don't care about football. I don't care that you're a football player. I don't care that you can take your shirt off, and yes, you could probably kick my ass, but what does that really prove at the end of the fucking day? I really don't care, dude. And then he runs, I wasn't watching the chat at the time. Dude, it's a fucking live stream. Shouldn't you be paying attention? Oh, I was getting this person set up to come on, and I was getting that person set up to come on. And dude, you know what that means that you need to do? You need to hire what's called a producer who can handle that shit for you, to where all you have to do is maybe adjust volumes, and talk, and pay attention to your chat and interact. That's what hire a fucking producer. If you can't handle it, and you can't handle it all by yourself, you shouldn't be fucking doing it. You used your access as a former NFL football player. Let's face it, that's what happened. I'm a former NFL football player, so I got a little bit of notoriety to me. So that's what got me in touch with Hollywood, and that's what got me in touch with Zack Snyder. That's what happened. And good on you for doing it. Again, it's for charity. I 100% the charity aspect, but from running a show standpoint, that charity is secondary when it comes to doing your fucking job as a host. To me, it does. Because you'd already reached your goal before the guy even came on. To the best of my knowledge, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm happy to say I'm wrong. I apologize if I'm wrong on that. Apologize up front. But from what I heard, yes, you've already reached your goal, so everything else is extra. And, you know, the people that you had on your live stream with you, they're YouTube elitist as well. They're access media of YouTube. They're the ones that get handed free screeners and everything else. I noticed that, the people that you were on there with. And I know people are going to bring race into it. Oh, here we go. I can hear now. Oh, you got something against the black YouTubers. Motherfucker, Young Rippa, who I love that man's videos. Young Rippa, Eric July, said the same shit that I said. It ain't about race. It could be fucking somebody as Snow White and cracker as I am sitting up there. It could be the fucking most redneck honky in the world sitting there. Hire a producer. If you can't, I was getting this person on, and I was getting ready to get this person on the stream, and I had to get this person. Hire a fucking producer to take over that shit for you. You're unprofessional. And then when the man said those two statements and did not have any real separation of the two, to indistinguish one from the other, you, as a fucking channel, well, I mean, you know, Geeks and Gamers should have stepped in at that point. Somebody from the Geeks and Gamers crew should have stepped on at that point. Professionalism should have went out the fucking window. Because as a channel that goes against this shit, and as a community that goes against this shit, this very fucking thing of virtue signaling, nobody grew a spine and said, hey, you know, can we clarify that those are two separate statements, Zach? That you're not roping Geeks and Gamers in with hate. I know that you're not affiliated with them, but could we agree that they don't spread hate and they don't condone the other statement? Couldn't you have said that? The stream had already taken a downhill turn at that point. The donations stopped. The overall feel of the stream went downhill. It was very fucking awkward from that point. So that wouldn't have hurt anything. And what's going to happen? He's going to log off the stream? Big fucking deal. Guess who that hurts? Zack Snyder. Guess who that hurts? Warner Media. Hurts HBO. But what it does do, if that would have happened, would save Geeks and Gamers and proves that Geeks and Gamers backs up what they say. They practice what they preach. But you know what? Lesson learned. They'll probably never get another Hollywood guest on again after this. And I can't say I blame them for not wanting to. I got hung up on by Bobby Heenan because I had an on-air argument with my producer in the background while the show was going on based off of a fact about Bobby Heenan's career. It happens. I moved on, and the very next week, I believe we had AJ Styles on as a guest. You can stand up for what you believe in and still maintain some sort of professionalism. And if you can't handle that, can't pay attention to the fact that your donations dipped, oh, they picked right back up later. Who gives a fuck? They still dipped right then and there. People were still pissed right then and there in the chat. All of the people, it was on my channel. Well, guess what, dude? The people who are watching your channel were there because of Geeks and Gamers, not Uche alone. I'm sure that nobody, if you were to do a channel that was not affiliated with Geeks and Gamers, you wouldn't have it. You wouldn't, you know, you'd be like I am. I'm just some white hunky mouthing off who does not even have 1,500 subscribers. Big fucking whoop. But this platform gives me a voice, and I'm sorry, but if it was me, and we can always say hindsight's 2020. Yeah, like Mr. H said, if nobody calls you out on it, you won't learn from it. If nobody tells you you're wrong and that you made a mistake, you're gonna think you did the right thing. And guess what? You fucking didn't, dude. You fucking didn't. Hire a fucking producer next time. If you feel like you're having to keep too many plates spinning, hire a producer. Say, hey man, I'm going to give you access over the Zoom deal, or whatever thing we're using to broadcast with. I need you to call this person at these times and have them ready to go so that we can introduce them, feed them into the stream, and feed other people out of the stream so that we don't bog down the software and all XYZ. This is what I need you to do. There's a reason why radio shows have call screeners and producers that let people, pass a note on to the host. Hey, we got this person on line 4. He says he's experienced this and is real factual in this. Let's get him on. Now, of course, it's up to the host's discretion. You look at Howard Stern. How many fucking producers does he have? Gary's his number 1 producer, but he's got 3 people backing Gary up. I'm just saying, next time, dude, if you're going to use that as an excuse, you need to hire a producer and show them how to run your ship to where all you got to do is sit back and host and interact with your chat room. That shows me that you don't pay attention to what your subscribers are telling you. That's what that tells me. If this guy can't even pay attention to a chat room, I mean, come on now. I've been doing this podcasting off and on since 2004. I had a co-host / producer whose name was Rick Hendrickson. May he rest in peace. And he was damn good at it to the point where he made a living doing it. If you can't keep those plates spinning, hire someone that can for you. In my mind, there's no excuses for this. It's not all you guys' fault. It's partly Zack Snyder's a lot to blame for this, despite what you guys say. Because he could have very, very easily distinguished those two statements. Well, he's not a very good speaker when it comes to the press and all that. Well, maybe he shouldn't be talking to the press. You figure as a seasoned director as he is, he'd learn how to talk to the press by now. And you're going to say, well, Geeks and Gamers isn't press. Well, you kind of came off as Access Media at that point when he didn't call him out on this shit. That's just me. That's my fucked up white boy opinion, I guess. There goes old Whitey spouting his mouth off again. Yep. As someone who's been podcasting since 2004, I think I have a little bit of knowledge about what goes on with this. Anyway, folks, I'm going to jump off here. Leave a comment down below. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell icon. And we'll see you down the road.